welcome to This Week is Stupid for the 21st of July, 2024. I got a new co-host today. I think you may know him. Spoons, how you doing?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I'm apparently here to make V very nervous because apparently I'm an edgy boy and that rattles him. Even though I know he's doing it just to irk me.
He has 4 strikes on his channel. Like, the thing is, he was saying it's like, oh, I only have 4 strikes. And it's like, motherfucker, that's enough to take down a YouTube channel. 4 fucking strikes. And then I showed him, like, okay, we're going to start the show by talking about this. And I showed him, like, the first thing that we're going to discuss. And he was like, oh, I need to say gamer words. And I'm like, look.
No, I son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, no. V is BSing you people. That is not what I said. I said a gamer word when looking at this. I didn't say I'm going to say it on the show.
So not a lot of gamer words, just a little gamer words. All right. I'm sure like the YouTube moderators will be very compassionate and understanding. And when they flag the stream, I will be like, look, you don't know this man. He would have said a flurry of gamer words, but he controlled his shit and he only said one. So
that's actually pretty accurate for our streams because it's usually like 2.5 hours in before I will say any gamer word, and it will just be like one a stream in like 6 hours.
Okay, so I need to end the stream before 2.5 hours. That is the danger zone, right? V, what happened to the Bailey girl? The Bailey girl is with family today, so Spoons is taking over.
There we go.
Right, so let's talk about something else. We're not going to discuss that article. That will make you say gamer words right off the bat. Let's wait for more people.
Jeez, I'm not that bad.
No, I just want more people to join the chat before we can discuss that one. But we can talk...
V makes it sound like I'm just like this uncontrollable wrecking ball that he just has to like Todd wrangle just because I'm gonna say some wild shit.
I know, man. I see like not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 community guideline strikes. So, all right, like listen, this is what I want to know, because like I know you're a decent person, a pillar of the community, a decent member of society with strong Christian values, and this actually came out and upset a lot of right wingers, right? So we gotta.
Oh, I did see this,
and it upset also football players as well, right? And Karens, a lot of Karens were upset. So this is a picture of Lionel Messi. Right? Apparently he is one of the greatest football players to exist. Man can chase a ball like no other. And he is married with a very picturesque and beautiful young lady. However, this young lady posts pictures of herself doing squats in a gym. And people are upset that this is not traditional. This is not of conservative, pure Christian values. Because why is his wife behaving, and I quote, like an average hoe? The fact that she took such video for random men on the internet to list at her butt and sees nothing wrong with it tells you all you need to know about her. So, what is your opinion on Messi's
I don't
wife?
even think it's more like I think the reason why it went viral is because people assume that if you're a gentleman of high status, if you marry someone, they will behave as if they are like Sharia law kind of level of under control. And then it turns out like, no, it's just that it doesn't matter what the guy status is. A woman will just behave. If there's a camera, she will just behave like an average hoe, as you just said. Yeah. And I think that's the bit that pissed people off, because it makes people look at Lionel Messi and go like, well, if Messi can't even get a chick in control, what the hell do the rest of us have a shot at? It's more I would say.
The thing is, we live in an age where people who sit their fat asses on the couch love to become what I used to call the old women in the past. Now, the old women in the past had absolutely no other hobby but to be like a CCTV camera in Eastern Europe. Like, they would surveil the land, they would surveil the footage.
Like a sewing circle.
And gossip, not fucking stuff, right? Gossip about other people. Their lives were mundane and boring, and all they did was to gossip about others. So now you have the same shit on the internet, except that instead of elderly people, you have random individuals. It's like, what the fuck do you care about Messi's marriage, man? It's like, if you see something in Messi's marriage that you don't like apply it to your lifestyle. And like, find the woman that doesn't behave like that. learn to have a relationship which is more stable than Messi's if you don't like him. And like, why do you constantly have to moral busybody about what Messi's wife is doing? Are you married to her? No. Is she your daughter? No. But like, you gotta have an opinion, right? You gotta be like, oh, I disavow. How dare she?
Yeah, I do think, but I think it's a case of, the way that people look up to like heroes and they go like, oh, this is how you're expected to behave. These are like the aristocracy of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and essentially it's a case of like, well, this is a woman. You must behave as a woman, and you are behaving like a whore.
I don't even think like she's behaving like a whore. Like she's not.
No, but that's what the internet thinks.
Yeah, but like she's not doing OnlyFans, right? She's not posting nudes. In the past, like other football players had their wives being in Playboy magazine and stuff. Like we're not even talking about like if you actually compare it with other football players, she's very conservative.
Yeah, that is actually true.
The
old like rags in the UK.
Like you need to compare it with.
Comparatively speaking, it is. Yeah. I never think about it like that. Like, oh god, yeah. But
like,
it's still like a level of horny.
Yeah, like she's not the lady from across the street. Like she's not the lady from the groceries market, right? Like she is someone that spins in the circles with Lionel Messi and his friends. And if you look at Lionel Messi and his friends, like all those ladies, they started Playboy magazine and shit. The Sun, what was it in Britain? The Sun paper. Right?
Oh yeah, the page 3 girls.
The pastry girls, yeah. Like that's who. So yeah, I just found it interesting that when I looked at the comment section, it literally is like what in Eastern Europe you'd see babushkas talk about, and it was like,
it's really that bad.
Yeah, like really that bad. Like everyone is like, oh my goodness, like why can't he control his woman? What is she doing? Why is she like that?
Yeah, see, there you go. That's the thing. It's just that if you are a man of this kind of status, then the woman must be like rather subservient.
I mean, let me show you Ronaldo's girl, right? And you will notice a theme going around here.
Oh yeah.
Like this is Ronaldo's girl, right? So
she has
like
a huge ass.
She does have a huge ass, but like again, this is just normal for football players. And she is taking pictures with herself at the beach. So
that's a bit too big.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is there something as too big of an? I don't think so.
Yes, there is.
I think there's just more pushing for the cushion. Moving on, let's look at the video that you wanted to say gamer words. So I will ask you to be quiet for like 1 minute while I show it to the chat because I don't have a watch together thing, right? So chat, this happened in Britain. This is part of British culture.
Has the trolls phoned you up? Why are you here?
We can't tell you unless you open the door.
I love how the cops are like, we can't tell you unless you open the door. I think like in British, they can't actually get into your house, so they have to entice you if you open the door. The police are like vampires, basically. You have to invite them in.
Sleeping. I've just gone live as well. Hi.
Sorry, we had to come in, unfortunately.
Alright, okay.
You're going to be arrested, Jan.
For what?
For malicious communications, yeah? Because between February and July this year, you have sent series of social media posts which are grossly offensive.
I haven't sent nothing.
To people of protected characteristics.
No, this is not me. It's a fake account.
And LGBTQ. So
no, I've not said nothing about the LGBT.
Right. So Spoons, 1.3 million views. Apparently the police entered this lady's home like vampires. Like first they had to be invited in, and once they're invited in, they're allowed to do whatever. And she's
like a curse.
Yeah, like she is getting arrested for being grossly offensive to the LGBTQ community.
Why does this community have such a stranglehold on sanity?
No, you know what? Okay. Imagine if the situation was reversed. You love this phrase, right? Like, imagine if the situation was reversed, right? So I am the LGBTQ community. Ask me how I would feel seeing that this lady is getting arrested.
How would you feel seeing this lady arrested?
Powerful. Feel powerful. No, but unironically,
it's because you have no control over anything else.
Well, no, it's like being an aristocrat. All of a sudden, I fucking love the monarchy, right? Like, imagine this. You are a group in society, and if someone criticizes, the cops go after them. Like, how else can you feel besides powerful?
Psychopathic?
I don't fucking care, man. This is like,
You did ask.
no, I genuinely don't care. Like how I don't think it feels
No,
psychopathic. I think like that is like an
Okay.
adjective, like a description. You don't feel it, right? Like you either are or aren't. But like you can feel
Right.
powerful.
Yeah, no, I can understand that, but from my perspective, because I'm snooty, it's more the case of, okay, I can see the utility in the power to, let's say, oppress in this case, but I consider that just like an enforcement of a standard. So when I see this, my mind just goes, what are you exercising your power for?
That's
I was like, oh, it's discrimination. It's like, okay, well, your group is discriminated against. Why?
yeah, but like imagine you're an aristocrat, right? And a peasant made a ballad about you in a tavern that's offensive, and now the king's men are coming to punish that peasant. It's like, how do you feel? Powerful.
Honored that the king is getting involved on my behalf.
But yeah, I mean, he has to protect the nobility. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
the
just,
realm,
yeah,
yeah.
like an attack on one is an attack on all. Like you can't allow the
Yes.
peasants to start disparaging the nobility.
Yes, good.
Right,
Suppress the
exactly,
peasantry.
right? Yeah, exactly. There you fucking go. And,
But
and when you
yes,
think it
but the
like
king
that,
is noble, and these people are cringe. That's the difference.
Are you saying that King Charles is not a good, strong LGBTQ ally?
Why does King Charles always have to get brought up?
Because he's the King of England. Well, it's not the King of England. He is the King of the United Kingdom.
I don't think he's the king of bugger all at this point.
No, he is de facto. See, if he wasn't,
Yes, yes.
then Disney and Florida's contract would be revoked.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Disney has a contract with Florida, which pretty much makes Disney like a little fiefdom. Like it gives them a lot of authority. And you can't have contracts in perpetuity. So what
Yeah,
they
naturally.
did is they're saying that the contract will expire the moment the last descendant of the King of England passes away.
Jesus. Okay.
yeah.
That's
You didn't know that?
kind of harrowing.
It is, but you didn't know that?
No, it didn't. That's really creepy.
It's a well-known fact. Like DeSantis actually tried getting lawyers to abolish that contract because it is like a contract for perpetuity, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's quite disturbing.
Well, I mean, it's written in such a way so that it never expires, that they will always benefit from the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just sounds really creepy. We will keep you from beyond the grave. It's like what the.
Apparently, Artemis Fowl, Biden has quit the presidential race. No indication of endorsing Kamala Harris. Biden is out.
Oh,
says
really?
Jonathan Welch. Jeff is not. Would NordVPN have stopped this? I don't know. Would Biden using NordVPN?
I'm looking at it now. So this is it. This is his official statement.
And Biden dropped out. It's over, Jover boys. All right, let's see.
Yeah,
what did he say?
My fellow Americans. Take him like 6 hours to read the speech without coughing it up.
America. Over the past 3.5 years, we've made great progress as a nation, together strong under the block fist. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We made sure that with the power of FISA and other American institutions, we have totally collapsed other economies so that by comparison, others is great and to you. We have made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans and illegal citizens. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances while starting and opening new wars around the world. We've provided critical need to 1 million veterans. All right. Applauded the first ever Disney African American woman to the Supreme Court and passed the most significant climate change to show the weather that it has to bow down in front of America and never the other way around. We control God. We control the climate. We control the fucking temperature with your taxpayer money because we're America. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, strong like apes. What was that? Apes Together Strong from Reddit, the Wall Street Tycoon shit. Yeah, they didn't like when apes got together. Yeah, they don't like when they went against Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, so anyway, I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me re-elected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in this work. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do. I mean, sure, after seeing La Cocaína in the White House, after seeing the put sex in the Senate, I fully agree. I mean, I can't argue with this. I can't refute this. There is absolutely nothing that America can't do. No, I agree. Yeah, like, put sex in the Senate actually did take me by surprise. I was a little bit shocked about that, I gotta say. Having La Cocaína... Well, actually, there is something that America can't do. No, like, finding out who brought the cocaine in the Senate. Like, that is something that America cannot possibly do, ever. But, other than that, yeah, you can actually turn the president into a martyr while he's still alive. Yeah, you can do that as well. A lot of huge accomplishments this year, what can I say? No, seriously, like, have you ever seen someone having a martyr status while they're still alive? Like, this is something that even the history books haven't made, right? Like, it's just...
Oh, God. It's... I'm sorry, the cocaine, the Scarface bit, that killed me. But yeah, it's actually true that we all know who brought it in. It's just that they acted like, yeah, we have no idea how cocaine made in the White House as freaking Hunter's on the balcony.
I refuse to believe that Hunter is literally the only person in that White House that does La Cocaína. Like, no.
And there's no way in hell. No way in hell. The amount of times that Biden is awake at, like, unholy hours, like, you can't give me a freaking...
Look, he is but one man, and there is so much La Cocaína. So, like, I can't... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, yeah. The sodomy in the Senate, God, that was...
The sodomy in the Senate, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's interesting? And they never brought it up, though.
Which was that?
How the fuck can that be interpreted in any other way than a blackmail tape?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even...
Yeah, but...
I didn't even think of that. I just looked at, like, just the audacity of just doing that.
No, like, think about it, right? Like, let's say that you are a homosexual man, which is great. You know, it's 2024, more power to you. But, like, you really, really love the butt sex. Like, it's something that, like, you live for that, right? But would you do it in the Senate? And not only that,
apparently,
would you do it in the Senate and film yourself while doing it in the Senate, knowing that it's career-ending shit? Right? Like your entire political ambitions, your entire possibility of serving for politicians is over the moment that tape gets released.
I mean, power is an aphrodisiac for some people, V, so...
No, but, like, I'm thinking that the only reasonable way someone would do that is just, like, it's a blackmail tape. So basically they're saying, look, you get the position of being a staffer to some politician, but we need you to film this. And if you ever get out of line, we're going to publish this to the media. I mean, this is actually how they control politicians in Eastern Europe. It's not necessarily put sex. But, like, they get them to do or to say something vile, or they find out that they did or said something vile. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to make this
like
go
a safety
away.
Hatch.
Yeah, like the Securitate used to do this in under communism. Right? So, like, they would find out that you're committing a crime. Like, maybe you're trafficking dollars, right? It was banned. You weren't allowed to have foreign currency. Or you said some nasty shit about the party. So they will go like, okay, we can make this go away, but you gotta work with us now. You gotta, rat on your neighbor. You gotta pass the decisions we ask you to pass. You gotta do the things we need you to do. And if you play ball, then none of it ever gets brought up. If you don't play ball, all of a sudden you find yourself arrested and you find yourself with a criminal record.
I'm wondering if you do this voluntarily, or what the hell are the goodies that dangling in front of your face?
Oh, I mean,
because like the sort of Damocles above your head always is like I can't even understand
the financial benefits alone. I mean, okay, so you're a staffer to a politician. I mean, you're getting a lot of cash. The privileges, you're getting a lot of perks. Probably access to insider trading. I mean, there's a lot of things that you get if you play ball.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm a decent human being and not a cold-hearted psychopath. I don't get
Well,
it.
it doesn't start like the cold hard psychopathic route in the beginning. They ask small things and then they escalate to the point that you get used to it.
Yeah, but for me, I know too much about politics to know the road that will go down.
Okay,
And
so
also, politics is a dirty business.
yeah, so if Biden stepped down, and he didn't.
You know what's interesting about this is he's not endorsing Kamala.
Well, of course he's not endorsing Kamala. A lot of people.
Yeah, because he hates her.
Yeah, he absolutely does. The thing is, like, a lot of people.
I think his wife does.
I don't know, but like, a lot of people didn't hear what he actually said because of the gaffe where he confused Kamala with Donald Trump. But what he actually said was that Kamala Harris would never make a good president, right? And instead of saying Kamala Harris, he said, like, my vice president, Donald Trump, would not be fit for the role of president, or something like that, right? So, like, people didn't hear what he actually wanted to say because of the gaffe. But I'm thinking, like, man, how can you ruin a woman's political ambitions like that? Like, that is, like, an anti-endorsement. And even if you were, like, on any remotely friendly terms with her, you would never say something like that, even if true, right?
Yeah.
Like
But
imagine,
you
imagine
can
if,
sort of just tell that they hate each other.
yeah, like, imagine if you're my vice president, right? And I would say, like, even if it's true, I would say, yeah, I don't think Spuz, like, I think Spuz makes a really great vice president, but he would be an absolute shit at being a president. Like, that is an awful thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite degrading.
Even if it was
Also,
true,
it's,
right?
it doesn't have a lot of faith in the person because, like, once you fuck up, they're supposed to take the reins. So you're telling me, like, well, they're good enough for this, but if they were to take the top job, we're screwed.
Yeah, it's horrible, and I think the reason for it is that no one wanted to be his vice president when he was looking for a running mate. I don't think Kamala was his first choice, and if you look at the debate from the DNC, they actually, like Kamala actually took some really hard swings at Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they like each other. Yeah.
No, you know what I think is funny is that when you can see him or her and Jill around, like there's like those two bitches want to tear the shit out of each other. That much is obvious.
Jonathan says he endorsed Harris. I'm looking at it. It's not an actual endorsement.
It doesn't actually say that.
Yeah, it just says that she did a good job as a vice president, right? And thanks her.
Which is not really saying much because what was the two things she was in charge is the border czar. She did shit at that.
The AI czar.
She doesn't know what that is. Yeah, and that's basically it. And once people realized this is a shit show, she basically was just no longer in the media. Once like the cackling got out of control,
the cackling got out of control.
But it's true. Like once that was like became the main thing.
Got out of control.
And they just shoved her in the broom closet. Like no. She's just like this the black sheep of the family that they just shove in the closet. And we shall never speak of this one ever again. And for like the past year, because every time she opened her mouth, she sounded like a jackass.
It is like the border, the border czar. It's like, what does that mean? Like the Democrats didn't even want the border closed, right? So,
exactly.
Like, why would you put someone like it's a reputational ruining thing? Like, why would you put someone in charge of the border when you don't want to fix the border?
You hate her?
Yeah, it's like, it makes absolutely no sense. Bye Biden disco music. This is actually bad for right wingers because Biden would guarantee a Trump loss, but a Trump win.
Trump victory.
Yeah, but like now you don't know who's going to get there. So like if they manage to get someone that energizes the left, I don't fucking know. If they get an AOC there, probably not. Like they don't trust AOC. But if they were to get an AOC against Trump, oof. Like that would, because the thing is, like, right now, it's not about changing minds, right? Like, you're not going to get someone who wants to vote right-wing to change their mind and vote Democrat, and you're not going to get the Democrat to change their mind and vote right-wing. What you want now is to convince people to actually move their asses to the voting booth. So, like, there's a lot of Democrats and there's a lot of Republicans that are, like, they don't want to go vote. They're not interested, right? So now the parties are trying to fight to mobilize those people. So if you bring someone that energizes the left, if you bring someone that convinces left-wing people to go vote, that's bad for Trump. So it depends. Like if they actually bring, I don't know, AOC or a Bernie Sanders or some shit like that, I don't even know. Like it's going to be difficult for them though to catch up, right? because you gotta do what Joe Biden was doing up until now. You gotta secure more donors and all that shit. And I don't even know the legislation in some states. I think like it's too late for Biden to drop out in those states, right?
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious as to what because I don't think they can change it, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, like there are.
So
some
what happens
swing
now?
states. I think it defaults. I think like it's going to be for Trump, like those states automatically.
God damn, this is gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of months to left.
I think it
Dude, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be so stupid.
I don't know who they're going to pick. I heard like Hillary Clinton being name dropped.
Dude, Hillary Clinton, after being beaten twice, people just say, bitch, you've already seen your ass twice. No. And put the black woman because it's her turn. It's going to be like that version, except with the one
as
for
the
the
internet likes to call Big Mike, I don't think Big Mike wants to run.
Yeah, and I also think Lionel Nation made a point about this, considering the, around that, there's too much public spectacle of that family, and so given the current situation of politics and our timeline, that's probably not going to be a wise one. And also Michelle Obama's given no indication of wanting to run either. So
Gavin
I'm kind
Newsom
of curious.
isn't polling well even in California now, and that's like really blue state.
That's because he's a psychopath. He looks like a discount version of Gordon Gekko.
So I genuinely don't know who they're going to put. I'm trying to think of like there aren't that many left-leaning people that are popular. I mean,
Gretchen Whitmer
with the kidnapping thing. I don't know.
Who else you got? Like, can we name 5?
Yeah, I mean they have the
Five
squad,
candidates.
which raises energy.
No, they're all women.
Like certain people in the far left, but I don't think they can be controlled enough to be allowed to be presidents.
Okay, so here's my theory. I think after the incompetence of the Secret Service, putting a woman in any position of power now is just going to be a really bad look in the
I don't
public
think the
conscience.
left gives a shit. They're not terminally online. They don't really care about that.
The left are not terminally online? Are you
No,
serious?
I mean you have the people on Twitter, but like the actual, like the people that vote left wing, they're not. They're not
Patrick
terminally
Bateman.
online, and they're not
No.
in our circles. Basically, they're not.
He's not
like,
Patrick Bateman. He's too based. He's not based enough to be Patrick Bateman.
I'm actually trying
From
to
American
think who they
Psycho.
would put, and like Adam Schiff.
Oh God. The Mallorcas? Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, give me
Oh,
vaccine.
God.
Ba-ba-ba-boom. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the cringe times of American history, man. Dear God. So who we got? We got Kamala Harris.
Apparently,
Pete-
Oprah, like
Pete-
with Paul. Well.
Oprah?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You need
So
a
we got
black woman, you need a spice
we
of
got
the
Kamala
lot.
Harris, Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, Hillary Clinton, and
Man,
one
if
of the
it's
Obamas.
Kamala, it would be funny.
I wanted to be Kamala. Do you know why?
want
Because
to
I
be
want to see
Kamala.
her debate Trump.
I want to see the cackle. Oh, fuck. I wanted to see her debate J.D. Vance, though.
JD Vance would kick her ass, like against Trump. Oh my! Oh, the memes. Oh, can you imagine the memes? Oh my good God, it'd be fantastic.
Is it safe to say that the donors, media, and Joe's handlers took down the most popular president? Yeah. The most popular president in the history of the United States is. What has been unburdened by what could
81
be?
million votes.
Man, like, seriously. Okay, listen. Can you make sense of this? Because like your English is better than mine, right?
Okay.
What has been unburdened by what could be, divided by what is, and served with your choice of two sides.
Apparently, that's a reference to Trump.
That's Kamala Harris.
I don't know how.
That's Kamala Harris's speech. But like she's got like apparently two ways of speaking. One, that makes no fucking sense. And two, it's like she's addressing kindergartners. It's like
Yeah, that's
Russia
actually
is
true.
this really big country, and Ukraine is this really small, tiny country. And this tiny country is being invaded by this big country. Like, she actually spoke like that.
Yeah,
So,
and she actually ended that sentence with, "and that's bad."
and that's bad, yes. So, she either speaks like it's for kindergartners, or she speaks like she's the Oracle of Greece. Like, she speaks in mystical ways that, they don't make sense.
You know what's
but,
bizarre?
like,
She's supposed to be a lawyer.
I don't know what to say. Like maybe she speaks in a way so that the client thinks she said something intelligent, but even the judge is baffled.
But it's like, how did you get this? Okay, well, I know how far she got this far in politics, but never mind that. But when I listen to a talk, I just think, who is going to take you seriously? Like, if you just listen to that person talk, you put them on the world stage, you go, yeah, this is someone I want representing my nation. This is
Well,
not someone I want to
let's be
represent my own
honest,
friggin'
okay, like,
family, let alone a nation.
Well, the problem is we are looking at this through the lens of normalcy that we grew up with in the 90s, right? But now politics
Yes.
isn't made
Sanity.
like that. Like, politics is just actors that read from a script. That's it. Like, almost all
Yeah.
politicians do that. They're a figurehead, you know, they're paid to look nice, go in front of a prompter, read the prompter, and that's it. So, when you have, like, this, idea that, oh, the politician needs to say something. No, they don't care about the people. They care about the donors and the special interest groups. So as long as they stick to the script, they're fine. Like, they don't care what they say. They can make gaffes. They can wear blackface like Justin Trudeau. They can be senile like Joe Biden. Like, none of it matters. It's just, can you read the script? Can you read the prompter? Can you say the speech? That's it.
That should really tell you just like the standard the donor class looks for. It's just basically, can you talk?
Yeah, can you be
And
the
that's
figurehead?
basically it.
Yeah, can you be the PR
Yes.
guy? Yeah, can you be the PR guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
But can you also be completely insane?
Uh,
Yeah, it
not-
doesn't
not-
matter. That's quite.
I mean, not
disturbing.
necessarily insane, but
Well, you don't need to sound sane. Let's put it that way. You don't need to make sense. You can say the same slogan over and over again. As long as there's a bunch of seals clapping for you, that's apparently sufficient.
well, you don't even need that because like a lot of Joe Biden's speeches were like just a handful of selected people in order to make it look like there is some sort of crowd. But like even that is staged. Like you have the
Okay,
journalists
so
from- yeah, go on.
so here's a weird conspiracy theory.
Hmm.
Well, not a conspiracy theory, but it's more like, if you think the other side is completely evil, if you just make Joe Biden look like a doddering old man and the other side gets animated and just throw like shit at him or memes, it does make your side look like the more moral one. Because if you say, look, the other side is evil, they're constantly making fun of this old man, they will actually believe that shit,
Yeah.
which is really harrowing. But that's a lot how these people think. You have to put yourself in the mind of a leftist and go, what animates these people? And if they just said evil bad actions, but evil bad actions is you laughing, if you laugh they will think you're evil. That's how they're wired. It's really weird.
It is what it is, but like I noticed some
Yeah.
of Joe Biden's crowds. It's like just filled with reporters from authoritative news.
That's because nobody wants to go there.
No. It's not that no one wants to go there. I mean, they probably maybe people that
They
would
get
go
paid
there
to
just
be.
to be antagonistic. But like they can't tell, they can't control, right? So like they just get a handful of reporters. They know the questions that reporters would ask beforehand. He knows who to nominate. He's got an earpiece in his
Yeah.
ear. He's got like a prompter in front of him. And he's reading from the prompter. Everyone plays with the script. Everyone claps. It's like one of those reality shows where it tells you when to clap, when to boo, when to cheer.
Yeah. And he has an energy booster.
I mean,
Apparently.
yeah, but
That he
like,
got from Hunter
think
Biden.
about it this way, right? You're going to have now the presidential debates. When is the last time you see a Republican and a Democrat actually at any show just debating calmly and talking about the talking points?
Oh God, Richard Nixon versus Kennedy, probably.
Yeah, but like it doesn't really happen, right? Like you don't have like
Yeah.
AOC and some Ted Cruz type of figure just going to a talk show and just talking about ideas. And it's like, okay, well, I think this is what
Yeah.
should happen. No, actually, this is what the economy should be like.
Have you ever looked at like Milton Friedman's Free to Choose shows from back in like the 70s when he had on like Thomas Sowell? When Thomas Sowell was like in the 70s, and he had Friedman and who was the other one? Oh, this is gonna bug me now. He was the one who destroyed the right wing essentially. Oh, this is gonna fucking bug me. But they would talk, and you should just listen to how they talk about statistics. And there was a white lady with the friggin' wig who looks like George Washington. And you just watch how they speak very calmly, very erudite. There's no interrupting. There's civility. And then you look at us now, and you look at Twitter. It's like
Yeah, no,
it's like
I
everyone
agree.
talks to the level of like a
And
5-year-old.
the thing is, like in other countries, it's not like that. Like if you look at Eastern European politics or Japanese politics, like in Romania, we have like people from different parties all the time invited to talk ideas and debate issues, and they talk about everything, including the war, including like what Romania should do regarding the war. It's like, should we get involved? Should we not get involved? This is normal, right? Like, this is how politics should be done. But then you look at the United States, no one talks about the war in Ukraine and be like, okay, well, let's have someone pro-war and let's have someone that's pro-isolationist and have these two people go at it.
I think the way you only get that is on like fringe YouTube channels.
Yeah. But like, no one cares, right? Because it's like, well, some YouTubers think. Lamented Guide, thank you for the $5. My God, these have been the craziest 2 weeks in a long, long time. That is true.
Agreed.
Man, like, if you look at the assassination attempt, the fact that he survived that, holy shit.
Yeah, that is weird, 1 in a million kind of shit.
And there are leftists now that think it's staged, and for some reason they don't get banned for harmful and dangerous misinformation, downplaying, a significant event, etc., etc.
They do look completely insane. It's really funny that they call the right-wing conspiracy theorists. Then they literally see someone getting shot live, and then they go, "That's fake."
Well, I actually,
so you realize someone in the crowd got shot and they're dead. Like,
yeah, I want to say this, right? When I first saw it, so like the first seconds, right? Like this just comes out, and I see it. And the idea of being fake actually ran across my mind because I was like, well, if I was in his situation, like this is the fake that would definitely give you votes. And how would you fake it? Well, you have someone like throw some firecrackers from behind and you got like a little bag of blood, right? And you hit the deck and you smack your blood on the ear and then you get back up and there you go. You know, it looks like you got hit. But then I found out that someone died and I'm like, okay, well, obviously he didn't fake it. Right, so like that just went off the window, but it was like a possibility in my head. I was like, okay, well, the first possibility is he actually got shot. The second possibility is that it's fake. Like, what are the percentages of them? I don't know, but I can't eliminate it as a possibility yet. At the moment I heard, okay, other people got shot, I was like, there's no way that this is fake because it's a crowd. People actually got to see the individuals getting killed. Like, you can't fake that, right? Like, this is not just some like room that's in a controlled environment with only a handful of selected people assisting. Like, no, it's in the open. It's in a crowd. You can't fake that shit.
Yeah, you would think someone getting shot would be an indication that, yeah, it's not fake because there's people actually dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how do you still think it's... I don't even know how you got to that logically. I mean, I never use logic, but
it's such a bizarre take. It's like, okay, well, the bullet was too big. Like, first of all, I don't know, like, what bullet he got shot with, like, but, like, people are saying a 50 cal, and where the fuck did you pull that from?
It's the only ammo they know. That's probably it.
Why would they use an anti-tank rifle is a 50 cal, isn't it? Like, I'm not an expert, but it's like... but the second thing... My understanding is that the bullet creates this sonic boom around it. It's got like this pocket of very hot air. So you don't actually need to be hit by the metal. If the bullet is close enough, like that thing, that air friction that it causes is enough to tear skin. So if it was close to his head, it doesn't actually have to have like the metal puncture the ear. It's enough to be really close.
Every time someone says 50 cal, I hear that phrase from Archer where it just says, I'm spooning a barrel 50 cal like I kill a building. That's what I hear every time someone says that phrase. So when someone says, yeah, we're going to use it to kill Trump, like,
I don't think like an AR-15 fires 50 cals, though.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah. So another thing is like Dr. Fauci and others are like, no, sorry, not Dr. Fauci. Others are like, he didn't get hit with a bullet, he got hit with a shard of glass from the prompter. And I'm like, okay, what? assuming that's true. Assuming that's true. How does this downplay the event? Like, you still have
that's
like
a good point.
Like you still have an
he
assassin
still got shot at.
To take him out, right? Like, you had the AOC crying for 4 years that, like, there were people in her vicinity, like in a 1 kilometer radius around her protesting and getting into the... Right? Like, she was complaining about that for almost 4 years and called Ted Cruz a Hassashin. Like, Ted Cruz is trying to get me assassinated. It's the Hassashin. And it's like, okay, so if that is enough to cause concern, like, don't you think, like, someone opening fire and, like, assuming that that's what happened, right? I don't fucking know. But like, let's assume that it was a shard of glass. How does that downplay the event in any way, shape, or form?
You know, I've probably been in politics for too long as far as looking at it goes, because my first instinct when you said someone shot the teleprompter, I went, there's no teleprompters at a Trump rally.
I think there was like something with glass next to him. I don't know if it's a prompter or whatever. But like, fine. Let's assume that it was.
Oh my god.
Like, let's assume that it was a shard of. Who fucking cares? Like, it doesn't downplay the event. And then there was like Fauci saying, "Well, actually, the damage to his ear is not significant." And I'm like, again, so fucking what?
And somebody said the nomination. This is on Michael Malice's tweet. The person they should nominate is Lori Lightfoot for nominee.
Oh my goodness, that would be.
Oh my god,
do you think if you say her name 3 times, she appears cackling and says it's showtime?
Oh my god, dude. She was constantly shaking in rage whenever she was in front of the press. Like, that smoker's lung was just like the nicotine patch is kicking in. There's too much stress.
I would love to have an American president that loses their shit whenever they're contradicted. And have them, talk with German Z, have them sit there. Like, that would be fucking funny, man.
Do you know what is amazing, though? Is that when we were thinking of the nominee, we literally cannot think of a competent Democrat.
I'm not even thinking about a competent Democrat. I'm thinking like someone that would energize, like someone that would pull a stadium of people, right? Bernie Sanders could do it. Obama could do it. Even Hillary Clinton, to a certain degree, could actually pull an entire stadium with people. But I'm trying really hard to think, and I think like they're having this competency crisis, which is showing that they do not have individuals in their party capable of drawing a crowd.
I can't think of even one.
Gargura. Is she a leftist? I
honestly cannot think of a single person.
Take me out to the crowd. Do you think like if they pick Gargura, they may have a chance?
It's better than anybody else I got.
Unironically,
which is really saying something.
Yeah, like a shark VTuber is more popular than anything else that the Democrats have.
To be fair, they have a really shy team. It's amazing that I can't think of any one individual in that entire shit show of an operation, or even just a left-leaning person that isn't necessarily political. And
if this was the pandemic,
got nothing.
If this was the pandemic and they got Fauci, he would have won.
You think so?
Yeah, like he had the messianic figure during the pandemic. With like you don't need to think like a right winger, right? Like, this is the problem that most people
no.
You don't think like a right winger, you think like a leftist, right? You imagine a university of leftists, and you have like this person, you have Fauci going in there, and they would be like, save us the vaccine! The vaccine, give it to us! We need it, Fauci! You know, like that type of thing. And
fucking God unknown gremlin.
Yeah. But like, I'm genuinely trying to think of any person on the left that would energize crowds. And besides AOC...
Tulsi Gabbard, probably.
AOC or Greta Thunberg, I genuinely don't fucking know.
Oh my god, Greta Thunberg with any authority is a terrifying prospect.
How dare you?
I don't care. She's Swedish. What's she gonna do?
Dare you? Hi VN Spoon, how is your day going? Well, apparently Spoon is playing Assassin's Creed, so I guess his day is going shit.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? That's from the days when Ubisoft wasn't that shit, V.
It was always shit. You just didn't.
No, it wasn't.
Shifting gears.
This is one of the days when we had Ezio de Torre.
Here's something for your son's diapers. Actually, diapers aren't that expensive as they're hyped up to be. They're not cheap either, but they're not like as expensive to the point where it cripples your finances. You just gotta lay off the Pepsi. Like, look, if you're smoking and you're buying cigarettes every week, then you can also buy diapers. Lamented God, my God, these have been the craziest 2 weeks in a long, long time. True. I think we got a couple more. So Biden is out. Here's some money for the Romanian goblin and his teaspoon. Thank you. The teaspoon is not going to get any of the money, though.
That's fine.
Thomas Sowell, Milton Friedman, Walter E. Williams, Libertarian, and William Buckley, Neocon. These were the guests on the show, Spoon. the fuck does he know that? By the way, V, I going to a family gathering this weekend, and I got money. They say it's a stage. Oh shit! A lot of black people, because American Outlier is black, if you didn't know. A lot of black people are now liking Trump because you know why? Trump is gangsta, man.
Yeah, he got shot, and then
Yeah,
he
he
just
got shot. He gets
yeah.
up like USA, USA. Black people like that shit. They don't like, you know, the corporate American. It's like, oh my god, trust and safety, lady, protect me with your magic. No, they like a little bit of display of strength and power.
You know what I just find absolutely insane is that these people are constantly saying to the black people, "Oh, look, the system gets you down, the system screws you," and then this entire apparatus is constantly getting Trump for no freaking reason whatsoever. At least that makes sense to him and to them. And then he gets shot, and the entire machinery just says, "Oh, it's fake." And like the people that are like somewhat lukewarm to him, like, why is everything hate this really strong white guy? You think there might be a reason why they relate to him after everything you've been telling them the system does? It's just so stupid.
I saw a lot of TikTok influencers, like black people, and they were like, you know, I never considered Republicans, but like after I saw Trump, and I'm now interested, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Listen
By the way,
to
that
this,
that
right?
also kind of
This is a good point. Hey, Democrat voters, you know all those primaries you had? They didn't matter. The Democrat Party is about to pick your candidate regardless of who you voted for. Your vote is irrelevant. But please do continue to tell us how you are the defenders of democracy. Are they going to have like another primary, you think?
Oh god, it'd be way too late. Although to be honest, considering just the absolute shit show that we're in right now, I have no idea what's going on. I was watching Sticks talking about this, and even he was saying he has no idea what the hell is going on.
No
He
one
can't
has
make heads
an
or tails
idea
of
what
it.
the fuck is going on, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like, what, we're in July? We got several months to go still. This is going to be really stupid.
Do you know what
Every
my
day is
question
going to be waking up going, what the hell is going to happen
No,
today?
do you know what's a possibility? Very unlikely, but it's still on the table.
Which is?
That Biden doesn't know he's out yet.
Oh, God.
Like, there is a possibility that tomorrow Biden can appear in front of the cameras. It's like, what are you talking about, man? I haven't dropped out. No, I still intend on running.
You know what's disturbing? The fact that that actually might be true.
It might be
But
true.
it's not a
Like,
joke.
Look, would that shock you? Would that shock you if it happens, right? You got
No,
Joe Biden
it
tomorrow
wouldn't.
in front of the media or opening a TikTok video or whatever the fuck, and he's like, no, I haven't dropped out.
Yep,
Like, that is not out of the question. Like it's
That
very
actually is
unlikely,
true.
but it wouldn't shock me. And I'm not saying that he forgot. Like I'm not saying that's the Alzheimer. I'm actually saying that it is possible they made the decision without consulting him.
Or told him to just like sign a piece of paper saying it.
I mean, it actually happened, right, with Taiwan, and there were, like, other situations where you would have Biden going around, it's like, well, if China invades Taiwan, of course we would defend it. And he actually broke America's policy on Taiwan, which is to stay neutral, right, to stay ambiguous. It's like, oh, well, if you invade, who knows what will happen, but don't do it, right? And that's America's policy for the last couple of decades. Now, he goes on and he braves that and says, no, we're going to go in and we're going to do some damage. And then the White House comes out with a communique a couple of hours later saying it's like, no, actually, the White House disagrees with the president. And I'm like, what? What?
Who the hell is the White House?
Who the hell is the White House? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but if you look at that, the breaking news thing about Joe Biden, right? Now, if you were to read that, you damn well know he didn't say or write any of that shit. But his signature is on it.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that someone just like
important.
drug him, and then just say like, just Joe, sign this. It's an executive order like everything else you've ever signed.
To be fair, to be fair, that's with most presidents, right? The fact that you're signing documents every single fucking day, you don't have time to read all of them, right? So you're relying on your aides and you're relying on the people that put the document in your hand. Like the EU does this shit. There was
I feel like if you're dropping out of a presidential race, you really should read it. You should.
Yeah, like the EU does this all the fucking time. There was, I think, like the Prime Minister of Greece at the time talking about this. So they would join a room, and they would have like someone show him a document, right? This was during the Greece bailout thing, right, with the economic crisis. And they're basically like showing them a document, and it's like, look, if you sign this, the Germans are willing to give you money, and you're going to get out of the economic crisis, and there's no strings attached, blah, blah, blah. And he reads the document and he goes like, oh yeah, this sounds good. And then they're like, okay, well, let's go into the European Counselor's office to sign it and make it official. And when he gets the second document, he actually stops reading it, and he notices that there's additional clause involved that the first document didn't have in. So, like, they constantly do these types of tricks, right? Like, they constantly try to manipulate you to sign shit that you didn't actually intended to sign. In order to... So, like, this is normal in politics. Like, this is just basic bitch, and it's happening everywhere. So, yeah, like, if you're a president of a country, and you constantly sign documents, like, you may sign something that you probably didn't want to sign or didn't know. Because you don't really have time to read everything. You're relying on your staff to actually do the proofread for you.
There is something that I'm kind of curious about now from a purely political point of view. And I think Styx brought this up several days ago, which is that now that he's no longer in the race, if he can't run, who's running the country from now till November?
The vice president?
She can't even run a mouth, V.
But it doesn't matter.
So,
but like, let's stop pretending that they're running the country, right?
yeah, obviously.
You have like people, like you have the special interest groups that give a script, and they're probably
essentially
the ones,
yes.
Yeah. And by the way, like there was another thing. AOC talked about it. I think it was the infrastructure bill or some other thing, and she was like, "We had to vote on it, and we didn't have time to read it." Like this is normal in politics, right? Like
God,
they
yeah.
give you like a 500 pages filled with legalese. And you gotta vote on it. And it's usually like save the kittens bill. And if you don't vote on it, it's like, oh, so you hate kittens. You wanna.
Oh yeah, that was the when was the last time that happened? During the period of the NOD, as I like to call it, there was the formula bill.
Mm.
And one of the Republicans just like 90% of this is like administrative spending.
Yeah.
Like less than 10% of it was towards the actual freaking prom. That's the reason why they didn't vote for it. Very simple. Like, whenever there's a bill, you will say... Someone said this to me, because it's very true. If you look at the bill, whatever the bill's name is, this is the exact opposite of that. Like, they just look at the bill and name it, and the name is basically save the kid, like you say, save the kittens bill. And if you don't want to sign this bill, you hate the kittens.
Well,
because people don't read more than a headline.
Yeah, look at the Pornhub bill, right? There's the bill to save the children. And it's like, well, how can you be against that,
God.
right? How can you be against saving the children? Like, do you want kids to watch porn on the internet? Are you some sort of sick fuck? And then you realize what the bill actually says. It says that websites like this requires full identification. So, like, if you want to use Pornhub, you need to sign in with your social security number. You need to have, like, facial recognition. Like, they need to collect your biometrics just to sign in to watch porn online. Now... Okay, like this is to keep kids safe. Alright, but what's to keep the adults safe now? Because if Pornhub gets hacked, all of that information gets leaked, right? It can be leaked to foreign governments, it can be leaked to the press, it can ruin people's life. Like you would have your actual account connected to the things that you watched. And even if it's like the most vanilla shit ever, just missionary position with the purpose of impregnating and having children that live in a well and adjusted functioning society, it's still career-ruining shit, right? So, like, obviously this is why Pornhub is pulling out from these states that are doing this. Because they don't want the liability. Like this would be... I think, like, even with the threat of imprisonment, if you have, like, a database where you're collecting people's information and you're associating with the type of porn they watch, like, this would actually be able to get you in prison. So, without Pornhub, what's happening? Are all these states not having porn? Like, of course not. You know, they get it from Twitter, they get it from other places. But what also this thing does, like, if this law continues, they can even say that, oh, well, social media has porn, right? Like, Twitter has porn on it. So, like, it should also require you to connect your social security number to it, right? Like, you should do it on Google. Google has porn. Like, you can Google stuff and you can accidentally end up with a lewd image. So, a lot of people don't believe, but, like, you can have the Chinese system. Like, this is literally how it works in China. You want to use the internet, you gotta connect your social security number to it, you gotta show your face, right? So all of a sudden you realize, well, it's not about protecting the kids, is it? It's about normalizing the concept that if you want to use the internet, you have
to consult the overlords.
No, you gotta like use your proper identification so that if you say anything on the internet, they know who you are. Like, no more anonymity. And they're pushing it by, like, we're saving the kids. right? It's not like we're protecting
Yeah.
the politicians from speech they don't like. It's like, no, we're saving the kids. And it's interesting because like there's a lot of right-wing groups, like religious groups, that are pushing for this. Like they're pressuring Visa, MasterCard, and other legislations to do it. But what I find it interesting is that they don't talk like right-wing groups. Right-wing groups don't use words like sexualization, rape culture, the patriarchy. That's left-leaning academic shit. You know, right-wing groups use words like sinful, an affront to God, degeneracy. That's the language that
religious
right-wingers
coded language.
use. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder when you see AOC allying herself with a religious institution in order to sanitize the internet of pornography. Because like that should draw alarm signs. It's like, really, so AOC, like the left, that's big with OnlyFans, that's big with like sex work is real work and all that other shit. All of a sudden they're against pornography. Like, isn't that interesting? So like when you look into it, you realize, oh, hold on a bit, like it's not really about that. It's just like the left and the right agree on this issue, but they're going to take advantage of right-wingers as useful idiots in order to end internet anonymity.
Oh, so check this out. So if we look at this post from Joe Biden, there he endorses her on his Twitter feed.
Well, it's going to be...
But he doesn't write it, so I'm like,
Yeah. Maybe it's like a
I don't
staffer.
believe that
Like
shit.
think about it. If it's a staffer that actually did write what Joe Biden didn't want to write, how is he going to correct the record? It's
Yeah.
like, is he going to come out and say, no, actually...
Oh god, that must be just. Dude,
honestly,
this is gonna be so dumb.
I'm
This is gonna be
shocked that
so
happened,
stupid.
says Lamented Guide. I was so sure they were going to weekend at Brady Joe if needed be. I was convinced he was going to be their scapegoat when he lost. When in uncharted
Yeah.
territory. We are. V, I felt personally attacked. I don't drink Pepsi anymore. I drink Cola Zero. Good God, that's... No.
I still remember the video from like several years ago where you said something that Coke endorsed. You said you will no longer drink it. You will only drink Pepsi.
I think it was like the stuff where they had like whiteness is bad and white fragility shit.
Yeah, something like that.
And I was like, yeah.
God, the good old days where that was the
can't
worst of
drink
it.
without not tasting the racism from their company.
Yeah.
And then there was like another stuff that they did is they had these bottles saying that it's a 100% recycled, and I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to.
Fuck you to the
Yeah, literally,
to
and
the
it tasted
political statement
odd.
behind it, yeah.
Like that's the thing, like the taste changed, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But anyway. Trump speaks like a working class man from Brooklyn. He does not sound fake. That is why so many people like him from so many backgrounds. Yeah, it's the mean tweets as well.
his tweets are funny as shit.
The question is, what did the Democratic Party do for 8 years? Of all the people in that party, they picked Biden. Yeah, they want someone that they can control, man. Like, Biden is the perfect candidate for Democrats.
He's a puppet.
Yeah, like literally just a guy that signs whatever you want him to sign, doesn't pull any struggle, doesn't try to deny what you want him to do. It's like a perfect president.
My god.
Meaning donors and DSC, think on planning on subverting the electors at the Chicago convention. That's a possibility. Oh no, Destiny wouldn't like that.
Dude, I actually think they're gonna run Kamala Harris.
They may run Kamala Harris. I think she's polling better than Biden, so.
Is she? I don't actually think so. I think she's actually behind.
I saw some polls which actually showed her on top, so maybe that's why. I don't know. What if an intern tweeted out that Biden is resigning, but Biden comes out and says that he is still running for president? Well, this is what we discussed. Like, that possibility is on the fucking table. V, also, I wouldn't doubt if the company sold you biometric data too. Also, read my super chat before this one. Hold on. So, did I miss a Reigning Terror super chat? Ah, here we go. V, besides the chosen people calling the shots, if you had an anti-war guy and a pro-war guy debate, the anti-war would win, not to mention that the left toiled to destroy nationalism. That is true, right? Like, if you have an America that's like... But the problem with Americans is they also don't understand geopolitics. Like, they don't understand the importance of Taiwan. Like, if you ask random Americans, it's like, okay, would you be fine with China taking Taiwan? They would say yes. But they don't understand that 90% of the chip manufacturing is in Taiwan, and then China would control the type of chips that Americans get. And you need chips for phones, you need chips for the military, you need chips for computers, you need chips for your cars. They don't understand trading lanes and supply routes. Like, they don't realize that the prices would explode if America wouldn't control the sea. I mean, look, you got like some random Somalian pirates in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they're like fucking with the shipping lanes. And immediately the empire appears, and you have like Black Hawk helicopters going like at these people that like barely know anything about naval construction. Like they have like these little dingy boats, and the Apache helicopter just comes like, you know, and no one gives a shit because like if you are an empire and you can't control your shipping lanes, you're not an empire. So you get like
you need a navy.
Yeah, like you can make fentanyl crisis happen in the U.S. You know, you can be Mexico and just let all of the cartels run amok. You can have even horrible events like terrorist attacks and the American just it's like, oh, tolerance. We need to be tolerant. You know, how can you say that? That's racism. But the moment you fuck with that little boat, the moment you just go out of your way and you fuck with the little boat, you get the empire. I don't know what's about the little boat, but they don't like.
I get the little mean of like, come on, do a thing.
Yeah, like seriously.
Basically
just,
that.
Yeah, no, like look at the Americans. Like every single time someone fucks with the shipping lanes, like that, it doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter like how politically correct they are. Like they could be like the LGBTQ community of Somalia that decides to fuck with the shipping lanes. The answer is always the same. It's from the and it's not just the U.S. military. Last time they brought the UK, they brought France. Like they brought the entire fucking armada in order to make sure that people stop fucking with the little boat.
Oh god, what a shit show.
Yeah, but
it does feel like the whole world is teetering on an edge right now. We may as well laugh because it is going to be stupidly funny, at least for a couple of weeks.
Aiden Paladin, Biden has said Kamala is the replacement and she needed to stay on the ballot, but she is a sacrifice. The Democrats want Trump to cry victim and rake money while kneecapping Trump with lawfare. So the thing is, if Biden actually wants Kamala, like what Biden should do is now resign as president. Like that would be the political normal thing to do. It's like, okay, if you are saying you're not capable of becoming or of running because of health reasons or whatever, you
how
should
can you
resign
run the
as
country?
president. Let Kamala become president so that she's president-elect, president incumbent. Sorry, and we get the first woman ever. That's a black president. We're living through the interesting times.
But they have said that he is running the country. All of his energy is focused on getting the country back up and running. Which just makes no sense, but you know.
So he doesn't have enough power.
He basically has enough power to get him to the end of the finish line. Yeah.
It's like I need energy to.
La cocaína.
Oh my god.
God.
Yeah.
And this is by the way, if any Americans wonder why do we pay attention to your politics, this is why. Because this is the shit you guys do.
Uncle Sam has a long history of losing his shit when it comes with fucking with the little boats. I think it's all started during Barbary Wars. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're a continent, right? So like you need the shipping boats to import stuff and export stuff. And
Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah, you can't really have the idea that a company can send boats and they may end up like losing all the cargo and the manpower. So if you don't have that security, then prices just explode. Like no company would want to risk it, or if they do, they would overcharge for the simple fact of carrying shit across the world. So that's why the Americans just really care about Taiwan. They really care about trading lanes. They really care about the Middle East. Yeah,
because where all the money comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, like you cannot have the American way of life without the little trading boats. It's just.
Oh god, what do you think is gonna happen?
What do you
like
think
the next 4 months?
the new Democrat candidate's opinion on Israel going to be like?
Oh, you know how you said to me, "Don't say spicy things." Yeah, that's like really pushing it.
The thing that I don't know, right? Like Israel is one of the strongest militaries in the world. Why do they need the United States for in order to wage a war with like Gaza? It's not even close.
Why would I use my own stuff when I can get somebody else's?
I guess, but like, why would America consent to that? Because like the thing that I don't get, right, is like the war with Ukraine. Like every now and then, it's like, okay, how is Ukraine doing? What's happening there? Did they gain ground? Did they lose ground? Right? Because it's like it's fluctuating. Like it's not so sure, you know. Like it's not something that's like set in stone. But like with Israel and Gaza, like, oh, how are the Gazans doing? Have they gained any ground? You know, like just asking that question sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, considering now, it does sound kind of psychotic, all things considered.
To be fair, like I heard from an article, and I was like, I had to read it twice just to make sure that there's just too many Gazans, and Israel is running out of bullets. And I was like, that's a tactic.
Holy
I didn't
shit.
Consider, yeah, like that.
Was that an act? Was it like part of the headline or?
Yeah. But like I haven't confirmed it. Like I haven't seen it from other news
Is
sources.
it from Times of Israel, maybe, or?
There is a crisis when it comes to ammunition, right? Because I think like Israel isn't actually manufacturing the ammo in their country. Like most of it is outsourced. It's in other places, right? Like Israeli companies that operate in the U.S., for instance, which is like one of the reasons they made the law that you can't boycott Israel. Like the U.S. has that law. And they're relying on these other companies to keep providing them with ammo. But like the war in Ukraine is also drawing these companies out of ammo. So there's not like enough munitions factories in the world right now to support the two major conflicts that are happening in the Middle East and in Ukraine. So that would be like the assumption.
I imagine, considering the US's regime and the powers that be behind it, I think whoever is the president will not buck the Israelis in any way, shape, or form. If they did, oh, holy crap, that would be, let's just say interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who has the balls to friggin' do that. And if they did, I would go like, okay, who do you know? And what has given you the green light to say this? That would be my immediate response.
It would have been possible for Trump, but I don't know. And the reason I think it's possible is that he's already old. He's already on his second term. Like he's got.
You know what is interesting about Trump? I think Trump is very clearly pro-Israel, but I don't think he likes Netanyahu.
Maybe. A lot of people don't like Netanyahu.
Yeah, and I also think it's because Trump recognized... I think... So two things comes to mind. I think one, Trump is the big dog. He does not like anyone telling him what to do. That is very clearly a thing with Trump. He likes to be the one that barks the orders. And I think also, if he wants Israel to have a good relationship with the world, he's sort of looking at Netanyahu and go, you're a shit show for this. I want you gone because you are bad for reputation.
After Netanyahu congratulated Biden for his victory.
That's almost petty, but almost respectable in a way. That like, I almost respect him for that kind of shit. Like, you congratulated my enemy, fuck you. I supply you weaponry. I was so good to you, and this is how you repay me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, because I think, like, if I remember correctly what happened, I may be wrong on this, but it was like one of the first leaders that congratulated Biden, and at the time, like, the election was under dispute. Like, there were lawsuits being filed, there were places that got contested, and Netanyahu is like one of the first that congratulates Biden, and Trump like unfriends him for that.
Oh god.
Spoon didn't expect to see you
Trump's
here.
pettiness does kind of a point.
Sarah says, Spoon didn't expect to see you here. Hope all is well. V, hope all is well with the little one. Also, did you see the robot incident here in the UK? Yeah. Well, again, like when you guys opened your borders, the type of people that left other countries weren't like our doctors and engineers. Let's put it like that. Like the doctors and engineers still stayed in the country, but the troublemakers, like the ones that didn't adjust well to Romanian society or other places, that they left all over the European Union. So like it's no surprise that they're causing troubles. It's like, for instance, Turkey and Greece, right? Turkey sends all the immigrants to Greece. Like they empty the prisons. They take all of the troublemakers, all of the people that are a problem to the system, and they're like, okay, well, go to Greece now. Go to Greece, right? And that's like one of the reasons that the refugee crisis went the way it went. Like every single nation on earth has a couple of people that are troublemakers, and they are the ones that they wanna, like send on their way. It's the same with Russia. Like when Russia is sending people to Ukraine, like they emptied the prisons, they got all the troublemakers and all the agitators and all of the individuals that were causing problem for the regime, right? So like when you're open borders and you're like, oh, well, refugees are welcome here. Like other nations that are more common sense, they're not going to brain drain themselves. They're not going to give you their doctors and engineers. They're just going to give you like first the type of people that they don't want to have. They're going to empty the prisons. They're going to go into the neighborhoods and get the agitators and the people that are causing problems.
I'm guessing none of these people saw Scarface.
I haven't saw Scarface. I don't have time to watch.
Wait. V, you've never seen Scarface?
I've never seen Scarface, no.
What?
Is it
What?
an anime?
Why?
Is it an anime? Is it? Okay. V, you missed my chat. No, I read it. Also, you on Broken Crown. Is that also an anime? The next 4 months will be.
I can hear him laughing as he's saying this, which I know he's just doing to piss me off.
I am. The next 4 months will be one Black Swan after another. There's that what's his
Great
name?
for content creators.
That Indian guy that's very popular in the Conservative Party.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, Vivek. Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically said, and this I think it's like 5 months before now. He said that they will never let Trump win. Like come hell or high water, they will not let Trump compete. So after they get rid of him, they'll put someone from our party instead of him, and that is the person that's going to win.
Yeah.
So he basically said that Kamala and Joe are going to be out, and the powers that be are going to elect someone from within the Conservative Party. I think he was referring to Nikki Haley, maybe. And they're going to put that person in charge, and that person is actually going to be the one that's going to win. And they're going to be the new president.
He's clearly read Samuel T. Francis. He's read Leviathan and Its Enemies because he quotes phrases from that book all the time. Like the managerial class, that's from Samuel T. Francis. So I'm kind of curious as to what he will be sort of in the regime. But the reason I say Scarface is because in the beginning of the movie they mentioned the Muriel boat lift that happened because Cuba basically just sent the dregs of its jails to Florida. Like the reason why there was a massive crime wave of like cocaine in the 70s and 80s in Miami
this happens
is because of Cuba. Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's my point. Is that but
new,
but you should just look at that and go, hey, look what happened when Cuba did not send its best. Oh yeah, you had a massive amount of fucking crime. Like when people just say, oh look, America would never do this, the shit that Europe is doing. I'm like, you did this in the 1970s, you twats. The Miami became the most dangerous place in the world because you flooded it with like fucking drug addicted Cubans and the Medellin cartel from Colombia.
But it's usually planned. like look at Scat Francisco, right? The moment Chairman Z comes up, all of a sudden Scat Francisco is cleaned up. Yeah. Like you don't have drug addicts on the streets, you don't have homeless people. Like all of a sudden, just by magic, Chairman Z comes along and it actually looks like a livable city. And they even, just to put salt on the wound, they even go out and say, well, actually, it didn't cost us a single extra penny to do it. So everything is like...
And that's the guy that want to run.
Yeah.
That's the potential nominee.
V, we told Ukraine that we were out of ammo and we're leaving them in the middle of an East conflict started and dumped a ton of support into it. Yeah, usually, like, when the governments tell that they're out of ammo, they're not really out of ammo, because, like, you don't want to tell your enemy that, hey, we're out of ammo. But, yeah, like, Ukraine also started losing a lot of territory because they don't have artillery shells. And the reason they don't have artillery shells is because there's not that many munitions manufacturers in the world to produce the level of requirement of shells that they need. And Russia also signed a deal with North Korea, which has a lot of artillery shells, so... hot take. Israel is handling Gaza in the way the U.S. should have handled Afghanistan. Taking that as you may. Oof.
I'm not going to say anything.
Nah, I'm not going to say anything either.
Yeah.
I'll let JD Vance do the talking, yes.
Oh, yeah. That whole situation is going to be interesting to see how they handle that shit show.
Which?
Because just the foreign policy from Trump was probably his glowing A game.
Yeah.
Like for Tim Pool, never shut the fuck up about his foreign policy. So I think Trump is people gonna look and go, oh god, there's the bigger is basically when Biden was in, it's like when the teacher's back is turned, they're just like constantly like freaking throwing airplanes and shooting the shit out of each other with like paper and elastics,
like
and as soon as they
how
turn around,
Trump
Trump is gonna be
will-
back in the room like,
How Trump will handle like the Gaza conflict?
yeah.
Well, probably if I was Trump, I would go like, okay, how many months more do you need to fuck around? It's like 5 months, 6 months. What's your exit plan? It's like, you got 5 months left. I don't fucking care what you do in 5 months, but after 5 months, I want a ceasefire. Like that's probably how he would do.
Because I even saw that Trump said knock it off because because Trump is the king of optics and he knows this is not a good look for Israel. So he's basically just said knock the shit off.
Like I actually know how Romanian politicians are talking about this conflict behind closed doors. And
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Basically, it's to the point, and this is what the European Union thinks as well. It's like, how many months do you need to dick around? Like, just do what you have to do, but I don't fucking care what you do. Just like, this is the level of months you have. Finish doing what you're doing, and then fuck off. And I don't know why Israel is taking so long either. And I'm talking like from a cynical, just world international politics thing. Right? Like, the more you drag the conflict, the worse the optics get for everyone involved.
It sours, yeah.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, if it was like a swift, decisive action right after the thing, because like Israel had a lot of goodwill, you had like all of those videos coming up on social media with all the atrocity that Hamas was doing. So like at that point, like you have almost everyone, supporting Israel. And I told them, it's like, okay, Israel has like around 2 or 3 months. Like a blank check to literally do whatever they want. Just whatever they want, like anything for 3 months. But after that, like people are going to start turning on them, right? Like the more this goes on, the more people are going to get upset.
Do you know what I think was the most souring catalyst for that whole affair was Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro.
Because, my God, his fervorous, like, bloodthirsty, tyrannical side came out like a fucking vengeance. And the amount of fake shit that he called, that was posted that wasn't real, that people just said, this is clearly CGI or plastic from, like, a movie scene. And he didn't apologize for jack shit.
He did allow feelings to come over his facts, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, God, that was so much trolling. I'm like, oh, this is such a bad look for you. And this is good, because I can't stand him.
Yeah, no.
He's two-faced.
I don't know, like, and Jordan Peterson as well. Like, I used to respect him.
Oh God!
But now he's tweeting like an edgy boomer on social media. Like that's what
it's
pisses me
really
off.
sad.
Like it's not his takes. It's not like, oh my goodness, he's pro-Israel. Because like a lot of talking heads are. Like that's not shocking. But when he goes, it's like, oh, you guys are living in your mother's basement, and it's like, what the fuck? Jordan Peterson doesn't talk like that. Who the fuck is writing on your social media?
It was so bizarre to see him just lose his shit because Nick Fuentes just tweets at him Jews.
Yeah, why is
he writes like this freaking essay. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, like why is he responding to Nick Fuentes to begin with? Like, why is Jordan Peterson even like
being baited
humoring?
by
like why would you humor Nick Fuentes as Jordan Peterson? I don't fucking understand, right? Like, there's nothing you can say that will be a good look on you. Because, like, you're engaging with someone that you know your audience, like your mainstream audience, is not going to react favorably with. And there's nothing you can say that, like, Nick Fuentes' audience is going to listen to you. So, it's just weird.
And he's very heavily against AIPAC, and he does bring up a lot of facts about who's getting greased. And then you look at Jordan Peterson, and there's a picture of him sitting at the table with Ben Shapiro and Netanyahu. And it's like, you do realize this is optically not a win for you, Jordan, because Fuentes is just going to tweet that at everyone and go, here, case in point.
I don't think, like, if you Spurg cares. Yeah, like, his audience probably, like, Jordan Peterson's audience doesn't really care about the Israeli conflict one way or another, right?
No.
But it's like, the words that he's using are obviously not his. Like, Jordan Peterson doesn't use the phrase mother's basement.
Yeah.
He doesn't curse that much. Like, he's not as edgy as he's basically behaving like a millennial spurg. And you're like a world-renowned political psychologist, right? Like, why are you using that language? I'm not like saying that the ideas that he is holding would be unpalatable for his audience. What I am saying is that the way he's expressing those ideas
is decorum,
Yeah, his decorum, exactly. It's not like Jordan Peterson. and it shows.
He is one of those people that when they say fuck, it generally lands with like a much harder blow than the average person because there's the expectation violation of it. Because I remember when he said with like the Canada made him take the NOD to get out of the country, and he just went like fuck you. I'm like, wow, I don't really hear Jordan Peterson swear. So when he drops the hammer, it's kind of a whoa. It's like hearing an adult that never swears suddenly cuss. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time, but when he does it, even you're like a 5-year-old kid. Well, he said a bad word.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just weird.
Okay, so can I ask you a random question? Who is the villain of the year so far?
That's a difficult one.
Because I have 3. A Canadian, Destiny, and Nick Recader.
Oh, so like content creators.
Yeah, or that. Well, you
Boogie.
didn't nominate anybody else.
Boogie. Unironically, I would say Boogie because.
God, yeah.
With Destiny, you
fraud.
always saw where he is coming from. Like Destiny wasn't shy about his politics, right? So it's not really surprising.
Yeah. I think the timing was really bad.
Yeah, no, like the only problem that I would see is with Boogie. He had absolutely no reason to do what he is doing. The man has like millions of subscribers. He can just have like a normal YouTube career. Like he can just constantly upload videos and play video games and make enough money to support himself. There is really no reason whatsoever why Boogie would do what he did.
I didn't even really think of Boogie. Just because with Boogie the malice was more sort of self-serving for his own purposes, whereas Nick's was kind of a train wreck of just mindless self-indulgence, really.
Nick Recader, right? Like it is shocking to see a celebrity do something like that, but like substance abuse, if you zoom out and you look at the percentage of Americans that do it, well, this is why substance abuse is banned, because it actually ruins family and it destroys lives.
Yeah.
So like rich person doing drugs. I mean, okay, welcome to Hollywood. You know, like I'm not that. It is shocking. Like, don't get me wrong, it is shocking. But I'm not as shocked as to divert efforts and energy into my time in order to just see what Nick's life is like and what he did, and you know, I'm pretty sure the wheels of justice will take its course. But with Boogie, it is shocking because like there's no reason for him to do any of this. There's really no reason for him to get involved, to lie about his diagnosis and all that shit. It's like, I just don't get it. Now, his justification, and again, like when you have time to think about a lie, like the more time passes between the event, the more likely is that the lie can be done. And this is my understanding, is that he went and got himself tested, and they found like the cancer markers in his blood, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you have cancer. You need to run like the actual gold standard for the diagnostic. So like for instance, if you have prostate cancer, right? Like there's this markers called the PSA, and if the PSA is high in your blood, then you may have cancer, but it's not sure. You need to do a biopsy, right? So like you need to get your prostates basically stuck with a needle, a little bit of cells taken from it, and then put under a microscope and actually look at the cells, and if they're cancerous, that's right. So basically what Boogie is saying is that he saw the markers. He saw like the high PSA, but since no doctor gave him the diagnostic, he just assumed he has it. Now the problem with this is that, okay, there are patients that genuinely do not want to confirm it. So like there are women that have like a lump in their titty, but they don't want to get an investigation because they're afraid it may be cancer. But if that's the case, you can't get treatment for it. So like you can't complain that you're spending money on treatment if you're not confirming the diagnostic, because no doctor, no insurance company, no one is going to give you cancer treatment unless it's confirmed.
Yeah, it was expensive shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that it's expensive. Most cancer treatments are actually like poison to the body. But the risk versus benefit is taken into consideration, right? So like the thing with like when you have germs, right? Like let's say you got a really nasty cold, you got Klebsiella or pneumococcus or whatever. The microbe lives outside the cell. So all you need to do is to have like a solution that doesn't damage the human cells but kills the microbes, right? Like it kills the germs. So that's how antibiotics work. And it's really easy. Like, you find something that lives the cells alone, so the toxicity level is low. But the cancer is the actual human cell, and there is no solution that can differentiate between a cancerous cell and a normal one. So what they do is usually they use solutions that kill cells that multiply rapidly. This is why the hair falls out. This is why you have like all the side effects and why it gets sick. Because whatever treatment you have, like whatever chemo you have, it also affects the healthy cells to a certain degree. So no doctor will give that to a healthy patient. Like, unless the patient is diagnosed with having cancer, you have like an official diagnostic. Like, no doctor is going to prescribe to you the chemo or even the morphine, right?
One of my family members is actually going through that now, so yeah.
Yeah, my mom passed away from it, right? Which is why the thing with Boogie is really upsetting.
Okay, that's fair enough.
My vote for first place remains with Tony Blair. He can't run. He doesn't
For what,
have American
president?
citizenship. Yeah.
You can get Boris Johnson to run as a ticket.
Wait, Boris Johnson is born in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was born in New York.
Rumor has it that Hillary Clinton endorsed Harris as a nominee. That would be interesting.
Of course she did. Fellow vagina.
I don't know, though, like, if they can still play the...
That's not true, by the way. She actually endorsed Biden to keep going on.
So apparently,
So that's not true.
said my villain of the year remains with Tony Blair. A message not sent. Like, YouTube doesn't allow that type of message. It's interesting.
Ah, yes, the Dark Lord, as Academic Agent calls him.
What is Academic Agent doing? Like, his takes were really far out. I think, like, he was considering, last time I was checking, like, women that have abs to be gay or something like that. If you like women with abs, you're gay. Like, what other interesting takes?
If that's true, then I'm a homosexual. And the last time I checked, I'm not a homosexual. So I'm not quite sure where he got that from.
But, like, what other takes is he having? Because I haven't watched the streams, so...
Well, he's just an elite theory person. So he analyzes the regime from the perspective of democracy doesn't exist. It's basically just like a group of elite that moves behind the scenes, faction versus factions. And so he sort of like the thing with like, he basically thinks like Tony Blair is really running the UK.
He's
To
not
make a long
entirely
story short.
wrong, but like democracy does
Yeah.
exist in a sense that you still need the people to be on your side, because otherwise, like, they wouldn't care with all the psyops, and they wouldn't care with all the money that the media is getting, and they wouldn't care.
Yeah,
about the
but
influencers, right? So like
yeah.
you have a Trump event, right, where you have like the failed assassination, and then he fist pumps in the air, and all of a sudden, like, black people that would vote Democrat vote for him. You can't unchange that. Like, that is not controllable. So.
Yeah.
If you have like a thing which you lose the control of the masses and they stop supporting you, like another example, the Israeli conflict, right? You look at the European Union and all of a sudden you have like these pro-Hamas groups marching in the open, right? It does matter to a certain extent. It's not as important as people think, but it is still important.
Yeah, no, I think it's because in his mind, the sort of democracy is this this mechanism that gives the plebs the feeling that they're in charge and stops them from rebelling, essentially.
Maybe, I don't know. But like
Yeah.
some people say if that wasn't the case, like Trump would have never gotten elected president.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he thinks there's like factions and counterfactions. Like I think he borrows heavily from like Moscow and Curtis Yarvin. Basically, he studies power in sort of the old sense of how our regime.
To a man twisted by drugs and surgery into a crude mockery of nature's
If
perfection.
you read like older books about theory crafting and politics, that's sort of where he gets his basis for his thinking from. So he does media analysis in a very different way to most people. Which I think is like the theory crafting stuff is stuff that only a few people would take interested in. Like it is quite niche, and this is going to sound conceited, but you do need a higher IQ and a general speaking interest for that kind of stuff, because the theory crafting is quite. I won't say it's boring or tedious, but I would say if you're learning about analyzing the world and you are not actually taking part in it in any real kind of way, it is a facade.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
not
it's the problem
generally
with the
speaking.
academics, right? Like,
Yeah, and it is also this thing of if you realize the world is out of your control, learning more of it just becomes demoralizing to the average person.
I love how it only takes like a couple of words from a famous internet speech and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time I saw him, he was like waging an anime jihad, and I was like, okay, well, good luck with that. I'm not going to stop you. You know, like more power to you. That's nice.
That's basically what I'm doing that in my own kind of thing on my Twitter account because I've seen so much like tits and ass, mainly coming from you actually.
Really?
And the shit you send.
I don't
Yes.
post that much tits and ass anymore. But
No, to me in DMs.
Oh yeah, but that's different. The thing is like.
Yeah.
I keep explaining to right-wingers why anime is popular, right? So I see a lot of...
No, we know.
No, like there are right-wingers that believe anime makes you trans because there's a lot of trans people in anime.
Yeah, but that's Matt Walsh and he's a moron.
And I'm like, but look at Japan. Are there that many trans people in Japan? Number one. Number two, like trans people are everywhere, in every community. Like I don't know if there's like a subculture that doesn't have trans people. And the third one... I learned more about conservative values from Uzumaki Naruto than I learned from Matt Walsh or any right-wing commentator. And when you compare like what anime has compared to Netflix, Disney, or any type of American culture, like DC Comics, Marvel, like I'm sorry, but like America sabotaged itself on the world stage of culture. Like people are watching anime not because anime is good; they're watching anime because what America produces is absolute garbage and shit. Yeah. Like I remember like back in the day when I was watching Stargate, Battlestar Galactica, and all the cool all the cool American TV shows, and I found anime, and I was trying to get people into anime, and they were like, "No, this is nonsense. This is cartoons. Like I'll stick to my Stargate, I stick to my Star Trek." You know, because like, and it's true. Like the thing that America produced was so much better. It was miles better. And then they self-sabotaged, and the anime that comes out now is even worse than the anime that used to be back then. So people would like to play, you know, their Mass Effects, and they would like to watch their Stargates and watch X-Files and shit. But that isn't anything, right? Like you got Netflix, you got Cooties, you got Big Mouth, you got Rick and Morty. Like that's what America produces now. It's like Has Been Hotel, right? And then they go Pikachu face when people choose anime instead. It's like, okay, well maybe make better culture then. Just create
you would
something.
think that's because America has been like the hegemony for cultural development for like fucking 50 years, and then they just went completely apeshit. And then you know what I've noticed? Asia does dramas really well. Like the period pieces I actually really like coming out of Asia.
They have like a couple of shows. So like Squid Games, really amazing. There's another one that I like.
I like The Empress Kai.
Yeah, Kingdom.
That was really good.
Kingdom was good. It had zombies in it, but it's like a medieval faction, and you have like the mindset. Or it's kind of like Game of Thrones with zombies. It's really great.
Oh my god.
Train to Busan.
Please. I'm seeing a picture here. Please tell this is a meme. Please tell me this is true. Harris is gonna run Beto O'Rourke as a VP. Oh, please do. That would be so unpopular. It would be the funniest thing.
They have no picks, like regardless who they pick.
I know, right?
At least Beto O'Rourke speaks Spanish, right? Hold on. We got Boog. I feel like the Arshcast now. Boog is betraying the Arshcast. The JP mascot Chiptan is pro-trans rights in BLM. Yeah, like I saw that, and I showed it to a couple of Japanese people, and they found it cringe.
Oh, God.
I don't know like what investors Chitan got. So like, are you aware of Chitan?
I am not.
Okay, it's the Japanese mascot. Like it's this Twitter account that's been promoted heavily. It's usually a mascot doing funny things, and it's hilarious because it's a mascot doing funny things. And it turns out like people dig through it, and they found out that it's pro-trans rights in BLM. So.
Oh my God, I read this. I think your prediction has come true. Oh my God.
White House aides admit that they found first on X that Biden comments stunned White House campaign aides who until this afternoon were insisting he would stay in the race. Can you imagine though? Like can you imagine?
God.
Can you imagine like being this out of a loop? Can you imagine how it's like to
Dude,
actually...
this regime is such a shit show.
Yeah, no, like imagine that you're actually vouching your reputation, and you're like arguing with people. No, Santa Claus is real. My parents said so. Fuck you. My parents wouldn't lie to me. Santa is real. And then you have like your parents going, well, actually, Santa Claus is not real. You know,
dude, this is, oh my god. I have no words. I just. It doesn't even, this kind of shit doesn't even need commentary. Just show it to people and go, yeah, this is 2024.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, think about it this, right? Like, if their own staffers, if the people there are treated like this, how do they treat average citizens?
Jesus fucking Christ! I didn't even think of that.
It's kind of like, you know, you wake up one day, you're an American, and it's like, oh, we're in a new war now. It's like they opened a new battlefield. It's like the Congress vote on it. No,
what are we doing today? Yeah.
no, but like, think about it, right? It's the same thing with Ukraine. It's the same thing with Israel. It's like one day you wake up and you realize that your country has declared war. Well, not declared war, but it's like in conflict with another state, with another power. And
we're going to war against Ukraine now.
Yeah, you don't vote on it. You're just told. Like
this is our life now.
Yeah, they're basically like letting you know. They're informing you that, oh yeah, now we're in another conflict. And it's the same thing with this, right? Like they're just telling people, yeah, well, Joe Biden isn't running anymore.
My God, what is?
Kamala is unburdened from what was on.
Oh my! Dude, I don't even. I actually have no comments on this kind of shit now. I'm just staring at it in disbelief, going, like, "What the hell?"
The cackling got too much, or?
Yeah, the cackling, dude. She was just there was like compilations within like the first 2 weeks of just her laughing like in a loop.
Who laughs worst, Kamala or Hillary Clinton?
Oh.
Like, Hillary Clinton has like this level of malice behind her laugh.
Yes.
You know, we came, we saw,
we
bombed.
It's interesting that you mention her, because if you notice Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris, I swear to God this is true. Whoever tried to coach Hillary into being human also tried to do it with Kamala Harris, but it's like 60% of the operating system doesn't land. Because their mannerisms are extremely similar.
Someone, Sarah asked me, it's like, V, how did you know without a study? You know, I need to... Like, Short Fat Otaku would be bewildered by this. It's like, how did I know?
It took the bureaucracy to get him to realize Biden has dementia.
Oh, yeah. Like, again, I'm not even kidding, and this pisses him off. If you want to piss Short Fat Otaku, like, you need to point this out, right? If CNN didn't report on it, and Destiny hasn't made a video, then you think it didn't happen. And if you tell him this...
I will say, I watched that stream when you said this because someone linked me just to like, watch this V go off. Just that when you just said it took you 4 fucking years, Dev, just that opening line, I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Because just like, blah. And like everyone knew this and so I'm going to say, yeah, cope and see.
It came so out of the blue. Like, my reaction was genuine. I didn't prepare a speech for
yeah,
this, right?
I know. It was just...
Like, I'm sitting there, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? And we're just chilling. And all of a sudden, the Short Fat Otaku comes and is like, guys, did you know that CNN said, major headline, a doctor has diagnosed Biden with dementia? And I'm like, yeah, we knew. No, but like now it's official. It doesn't have to be. Like, we knew for 4 fucking years now. This is Stone Khaleesi.
I mean, I can sort of understand what he was trying to say, but the context of how that applies is really mismatched in what he's trying to say. I can understand what he was saying, that, you know, it is like a documentation that can be presented in a sort of legal way to like maybe 25th him. But the fact that your argument was just, we knew this all the damn time. But the way that he phrased it was really, really stupid.
Yeah, no,
if he just said...
It's kind of like coming out and saying that the grass is green in the middle of the summer. CNN report. And I'm like... But we knew this then. It's like, no, but now CNN reported on it. It's like, okay, I guess. But, like, we knew this.
Yeah, I just wondering, what did he think that information was now going to be used for? I mean, if he's trying to make a case that the regime is getting rid of the 25th him, and this was sort of the way that there was an occasion.
It was like a revelation. Like it's almost like
really
he just got the bad news. Yeah.
See, when you say that, my mind goes, there is no way in hell any human being believes this. Like, I can't...
Again, like, he listens to Destiny, right? So, like, if Destiny said, oh, this is just
a
gaffe. This is just... Oh, to be the centrist, to listen to both sides, right? If he's like, oh, this is a gaffe, he's an old man, he misspoke. And if you, like, constantly gaslight...
He's been misspeaking since, like, 2016.
Yeah, this is my point as well, like, you can make a gaffe, like, it can happen, you can make a misspoke once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, but like, when it's a pattern, like, people start going, it's like, it's just like him misspeaking, or is like something deeper going on?
God damn. I've said this to people because I've made like 2 or 3 videos on him, right? And I said, I generally do not follow him because the shit that he says just pisses me off. And so whenever I see anything that he says, someone sends it to me, essentially just like pokes me like a monkey in a cage, like, Spoon, dance for us, say something about the damn Canadian, every time. And there comes a point where, like, if I would to just look at if I would just follow his Twitter feed for like a day, I could make like 6 videos just trashing him. Like, I could turn my entire channel just into an anti-dev one, which would be great for my numbers. But
like last time I shot on him, I got like 600 viewers. But like, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah. I can do it like once in a while. Like it's essentially because I know this is Bloodsport. This is what the algorithm likes, and it is really annoying that I can present something that actually takes time to think about, and that will not get many views. But if I just call someone the F-slur, that gets me like 500 subscribers and like 50,000 views.
Yep.
And that's like really like, oh god, the algorithm does not like you to think. It really does drive reaction.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks if you're a person that likes to think and open
like,
people's minds.
Controversy that he got in my fucking god.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain it to people, and people are annoying me as well because they say I was sweeping for dev. It's like, I'm not sweeping. There's no broom big enough to sweep for this shit. I'm just trying to explain the mindset.
But you do realize...
Like, I'm trying to explain the rationale. Okay?
Yeah, I no, they understand that, but the rationale to them, they understand what you mean, but it's more like there's no way in hell someone actually thinks this. Like, it might be true what you're saying.
No, he does.
Yeah, I know you think this, but to us, that's just like mad.
I know. Okay, listen, I know. I can tell a person that's genuine from a disingenuous one. I can tell a dev from a Vosh, right? Like, there are people like Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is
one's dumb, the other's dumber.
Yeah, it's not about smart or dumb. It's like some people actually believe the shit they're saying, even if it's dumb, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the thing with Dev is like, he watches like Destiny's videos, and they have like this whole thing with the fraudulent electors, which really pisses me off because like there is no fraud. Like fraud, if I were to say right now, guys, I'm going to run for the Democratic nominee, and I want you to give me super chat so that I can fund my campaign. That is not a fraud because people know I, as a Romanian, cannot run for the Democratic nominee, right? So, like, in order to do fraud, it requires a level of deceit that is believable. That is the legal definition. Yeah. It's not the common speech definition. It doesn't matter what people say in common slang. What matters is, like, what is the legal definition of fraud? So, when you have, like, the fraudulent electors, everyone knew that these are parallel electors. They did not have, like, the state's stamp of approval. They did not have, like, the signature from the governor. They did not have the requirements, right? So they were just, like, pieces of paper. It wasn't fraudulent. Now, you can say it's a different crime or whatever the fuck, but it wasn't. And even in the unlikely event that it was fraudulent, no right-winger gives enough fucks about it. It's the same way, like, going to a leftist and trying to give them to give a fuck about mail-in ballots. Like, they won't care, right? So, with that out of the way, Destiny makes this huge deal about the fraudulent electors and how it almost uprooted America's democracy and installed Hitler. And Dev believes that shit, right? So when you have a firefighter that gets assassinated, he's actually looking into it, and he's looking at, oh, well, this guy actually supported Vice President Mike Pence he didn't support Mike Pence because he didn't certify the election.
Do the right
Trump
thing,
wanted.
yeah.
He's an evil person. So now he's getting shit on by people on the internet, right? Because he doesn't know how to read the room. Getting shit on the people. And he goes and does this apology, I think. But, like, when you do an apology to the internet, like, not everyone sees it. You don't reach every single person. You still have people that are disingenuous, and they're not even upset about what you say, but they just hate your ass, and they see this as a good bandwagon to fuck with you. So now he's getting, like, all the right-wingers fucking with him, and he's constantly doubling down, because it's like, this is why he keeps going back to the fighter. This is why he keeps going, oh, well, they didn't spell his name correctly on the uniform, and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, when he was on that...
Go on.
When he was on that podcast...
I haven't seen the podcast.
There's a whole bunch of people ragging on him, and at the end of it, he just says, like, I wasn't really wrong, and he doesn't apologize, and he takes it back. And the guy, Asman something, just looked at him and went, like, you fat Canadian Redditor. That was, like, the reaction of everyone watching it.
I see.
Because you're not really sorry. And he actually just said, because someone asked him, like, what is the point of essentially archiving the man's political opinions? And he's like, oh, it's good to do that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
There's no reason to do that other than you want to justify the man being shot. That's all that is for.
Yeah.
That's just an evil bastard move. No two ways about it. That's not a centrist thing. That's just you're a dick.
Open secret, Michaela Peterson is writing Jordan's Twitter, says Starscream. She low-key mentioned it in one of her first podcasts, so if Jordan tweets don't make sense, keep that in mind. Oh, now it makes all the fucking sense.
Ah, yes. His daughter has really taken a bad tumble.
Yeah. No, like,
which
the
is a
thing
shame,
is, like,
because
I'm
she was
not
pretty
even
insane.
interested in shitting on Dev. It's not because I played Dungeons and Dragons with him. And most people that have seen me stream with Dev, like, know that I'm not holding back. Like, I am calling him out on it. It's just that I don't like shitting on other content creators. Like, I will make 1 or 2 videos, but, like, I'm not going to dedicate my time and, it's like, do the internet blood sports and start inviting, like, who doesn't like Dev, right? Let's have, like, 3 or 4 guests and call it the trash cast. And, you know, like, this is what I hate about Comicsgate as well. Where you have, like, content creators fighting content creators. I hate that shit.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, for me, I really try and stay away from the personalities.
Mm-hmm.
They just if you do something stupid, I will just call you out for if I don't like your take. I will stay away from the vitriolic words. Yeah. Like, my main thing is I always focus on what did you say that causes the reaction. Like, the one video I made on you was the car thing, where you and I disagreed on what to do with the inheritance of the car. That's like the only time you and I disagreed on anything. Almost all the other times when I made a video that involved you, it's because you said something that I agree and people had to go at you, and I was sort of either just not really just like defending you because of what you said, just like the reaction to you I thought was stupid, and I wanted to make fun of the people because the reactions were shit.
Yeah, it's fair.
Because it's funny.
I don't have a problem with shitting on a content creator every now and then, but, like, to actually make it like a career and to do it
it's cringe.
And to invite guests to do it, and it's like, no.
Yeah. It's like, they stick to what the people say.
Yeah, like Raining Terror said. That's like not the Destiny channel.
Yeah. Although, man, I will say, like, Destiny's, like, mask of just insanity was like, whoa, this is really stupid, and I don't see what you gain from it. It was really curious to see, because I watched him on a podcast, Wick TV, I think, what he actually thinks and what he said, and I thought, you just sound like CNN on like double the speed.
I took the L with the car thing. Oh my fucking god! Like, people just do not understand that there are different cultures in the world. You know what?
I know.
America gets impoverished through communism for just 20 years, no more than that, right? Like, just fucking 20 years, and then, like, see if you're not going to think exactly like Eastern Europe. Like here we value pragmatism, right? Like, if it's not something that's like, if you can make money out of it, financial, so you can support yourself and your family, fucking do it. Like, it's the same thing that I will tell my son. Like, look, sell whatever the fuck you want, because I'm not going to take it in my grave. Like, I don't do the legacy bullshit. Oh, this is the phone from my father. Like, you already have the memory of me, right? Like, anything that can give you a heads up in life, any type of advantage that you can have from the shit that I leave to you, you sell them, and you make sure that that money is good for you.
You see... that's what people don't like about current culture. Like, that's a very Eastern European mindset. But, like, to other people, like, the value of your family has lineage, is what carries them through the ages.
Yeah, but like the lineage
So people
that
have great
carries them
reverence
through
for
the
that.
ages is the education you bring them up with, right? Like the advice you give to them when they're young.
No, it's the memory of his father, is the
Yeah,
car. That's why he
if
does
he,
that.
if he needs a car to remember me, then I wasn't a very impressive person.
No. The car is the legacy of the grandfather.
Yeah,
That's
no, fuck that shit with the Anglosphere. Like, you keep it there. I'm fine with it. Like, you can think like that.
I'm not
think
even
like that
part of the
over me,
Anglosphere.
right?
I'm an Afrikaner. I'm a Dutchoid, and
Alright,
even
well,
I
keep
understand
it in
that.
the Africana then, right? Like, do not bring that shit over to Eastern Europe because it's not gonna fly. And another thing that also like doesn't work in Eastern Europe, and we talked about it in the other stream, is the idea
Go on.
of disassociating with someone that associates with someone else, right? So
Oh yeah, that's cringe.
yeah, it is so fucking cringe. Like okay, Boogie, right? I wouldn't associate myself with Boogie. In no circumstance, nothing whatsoever. Like, there is like, if he comes up to me and it's like, hey V, you know, let's do a partnership thing. Let's do a live stream together. I would say no, right? I don't want to associate with Boogie at all. But if I find out that you're associating with him, I wouldn't disassociate myself with you, right? But the new puritanical thing to do is like, no, like, why would you associate with Boogie? So if you associate with Boogie, now I don't associate with you. And it's just so fucking maddening. It's like, well, fucking why? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But and no
And
one
where
in
does
Eastern
it
Europe
end?
gets
Yeah.
it. Like, it's a Eastern European thing. Like, it's okay to disassociate with the person for doing bad shit, but to disassociate with the person for associating with another person that does bad shit, that's just completely just wild. I can't. It's wild. I just can't get behind it.
Yeah. No, that's. I've never been able to quite understand that either. I mean, if that was the case, you're friends with Dev. By that logic, I wouldn't be friends with you.
I mean, no, but the whole Me Too movement worked because of this mentality, right? Because you get someone that gets canceled, and now, like, if you're a person
you're toxic
that,
in like the.
yeah, like, if you're a person
Yeah.
that doesn't believe in the Me Too thing, right? So, like, let's say, what was his name? iDubbbz, I think. I think iDubbbz got canceled, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So iDubbbz gets canceled, right? Let's say that someone doesn't believe the Me Too accusations about iDubbbz, or just doesn't fucking care. I don't know. But, like, they remain their friends, right? Now, everyone has to disassociate with the person that associates with iDubbbz. And that's why Me Too was effective. It's because even if you didn't care or didn't believe the accusation, you still had to disassociate in order to still have sponsors, to still have money and all that shit.
Yeah, it does really generate a toxic kind of purity spiral.
Yeah, because at some point it does become a case of not my problem. It's like, why do you associate with Guy? Don't you know he associates with iDubbbz? And it's like, I don't fucking care. It's not my problem who he associates with. You know, like, he's not behaving in a way that I find it reprehensible, the guy I associate with, right? He's not iDubbbz. So why the fuck would I care?
Oh, this is going to be fun. I just made a bet with Andrew Wilson. I said to him, because he doesn't think that that Trump will win in 2024.
Yeah. Well,
and I said he will.
It's up for grabs now. It depends, like, the energy that the Democrat campaign is going to create. If it's Kamala, I don't think the energy is going to be there, to be honest.
I don't quite know what the hell, because I think what do you think they were actually planning to do? Because, I mean, he was going to be, everyone knew he was going to be a one-term president. Let's be real. And, like, at no point during the last 4 years of just, like, this shit show and seeing how, dude, Kamala Harris dropped out of the primaries before it got even to her own freaking state. She was, like, on less than 2%. Now, you telling me you want to pick that bitch for a VP under the auspice that she's somehow going to gain popularity as a VP candidate in 4 years? While you give her shit jobs while you tank. Like, the AI and the borders are you destroy, and she knows nothing about AI. And during this whole freaking time, that's the person that you're going to pick as the lead candidate after Joe steps down.
AI, like, I
what
already
the hell?
explained to people, it's like, why is text on the screen so dangerous? Like, why is everyone acting like the AI is this world cataclysmic event? The reason
Because the world is full of morons.
No. They already control social media, right? Like, you already have terms of service in place. Social media is the gatekeeper. Like, if they don't want you to talk about vaccines and COVID, like, don't get information about that, right?
Yeah.
And then it's also the fact that the search engines are curated. Like, if you look for arguments against global warming, good luck with that. Like, trying to find anything on Google that's against that, right? So now you have the AI. And what is the AI? It's a glorified search engine. That's what it is, right? And
Yeah,
all of
pretty
a
much.
sudden, you ask it about IQ, and it actually tells you what it knows about IQ. You ask it about global warming, and it tells you what it knows about global warming, right? So it's not curated. And they're freaking out. Like, the idea that someone can have this on a laptop that's not connected to the internet and is actually providing them with the information that they would find on the internet, but it's not curated, they freak out. And like, they're, oh, but like, what if the information is incorrect? It's like, yeah, well, like, in the early days of the internet, you would look for something and you'd find like 50 pages. It's kind of like buying a car, you know? You look to buy a car and you find like 50 cars, and some of them are good deals, some of them are awful deals. But it's up to you to figure out which is the car that you're supposed to spend money on.
It is a really, really weird thing that the way that these people sort of think about the world when it comes to information, because they sort of operate on this really weird principle that human beings operate via true information, which is blanketly not true.
I mean, everything.
So I'm kind of curious.
Everything you do in life is to figure out if it's true or not. Like, if you want to buy a house, if you want to get a job, you know, even when you apply for a job, like, how do you know it's not a scam? How do you know it's a good company? How do you know it's going to be profitable? You want to start a business. How do you know that it's a good business investment? How do you, right? Like, everything in life is operating and making your own decisions, but for some fucking reason, when it's about politics and the things that the Democrats care about, there's just one, like, correct decision and one wrong decision.
Ah, yes. Very dogmatic.
Yeah. Anyway, I should go and make the video on my main channel, because this is big, with Joe Biden announcing that he's stepping down.
Yeah, this is going to be funny as shit.
It's going to be funny, yeah. You should make a video about that, like, get on top of it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not really sure what I have to say, actually, because I'm just looking at the situation with my jaw drop going, there's a lot of stupid shit, and no one knows what the hell is going to happen now. It's basically a crapshoot.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, thank you for being my co-host for this week, and thank you, chat, for tuning in.
Yeah. Been fun, man.
Yeah, it was. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, cheers.